I never imagined a birthday celebration could feel like the backdrop to my own unraveling. Yet there I stood in the softly glowing ballroom of the Silver Oak Hotel. Jazz murmured through the room as I watched my wife, Cassandra, laugh at something I hadn't caught. It wasn't just any party, it was her 33rd birthday. And a few tables away sat her ex, Adrian, smiling at her as if she had never stopped belonging to him. The way he drew out that bright, familiar laugh felt like an icy blade sinking into me. That laugh, once mine, seemed to be drifting back to him. I forced a polite grin, nodding at co-workers as if everything were fine. I tried to convince myself it was harmless nostalgia, that she was just indulging an old memory. But I knew better. The truth sat heavy and bitter. There was nothing innocent about it. When the moment came to give her a simple birthday kiss, an affectionate gesture she usually welcomed, she snapped back sharply, her face twisting with annoyance. "Don't touch me. You're so clingy," she said, loud enough that people nearby turned uncomfortably away. My face burned as Adrian's smirk grew deeper, feeding off my embarrassment. Her friend Lila leaned close and murmured, "Are you okay?" But this wasn't about being okay. It was humiliation, betrayal, and the sting of being publicly dismissed. For a second, I froze. Anger clawed at me, urging me to yell, confront her, walk out, anything. But I didn't. I'd learned long ago that real strength isn't loud, it's steady. So I lifted my head, straightened my suit jacket, and offered Lila a calm, almost effortless smile. Then I turned to Cassandra and said, in an even, composed tone, "Shall we dance?" The quiet confidence in those words shifted the air instantly. People looked our way. Cassandra's expression flickered with surprise. Adrian's satisfied smirk faltered as he realized whatever victory he'd imagined was slipping out of reach. I extended my hand, not pleading, not needy, simply steady and sure. The decision was hers, but on my terms. I guided her onto the dance floor. The lights dimmed slightly, casting soft shadows that shaped every movement. I didn't cling to her or beg for closeness. I moved with measured ease, letting presence and composure speak louder than anything I could say. Guests watched, drawn in. I saw Cassandra's laughter falter, her eyes flicking between Adrian and me. There was a spark of unease in her expression, the slow, dawning recognition that the man she had brushed off so carelessly was still standing strong, calm, and quietly commanding the room. Adrian tried to slip in a cutting remark to reassert himself, but I shifted just enough to shut him out without speaking. With every move in that dance, the message became unmistakable. I was done being manipulated. The murmurs around us grew. Cassandra's practiced superiority began to fracture. Adrian's trademark smirk evaporated, his presence shrinking against the steady calm I carried. When the music faded, the ballroom fell into an eerie hush. All eyes fixed on her, recognizing the collapse of the polished image she'd worn for years. She attempted a laugh, grasped at excuses, but it was too late. My silence had already delivered the blow. I didn't leave in anger. I didn't engage further. I simply collected my coat, offered a courteous nod to the remaining guests, and walked out. Cassandra hurried after me, her voice shaking, but I kept moving. Outside, under the amber glow of Larkspur's streetlights, I pulled a small envelope from my pocket and set it on her windshield. Inside was one sentence, precise, restrained, and unmistakably final. A clear declaration of who held the reins now. By morning, the party was only a memory, yet its consequences were spreading fast. Rumors, disbelief, and hushed conversations traveled quicker than any confrontation ever could. Cassandra's carefully curated reputation had crumbled in front of friends, co-workers, and her former lover. I had walked away steady, composed, untouchable. That night, I didn't just take back control of my own life. I uncovered truths she never expected to face, leaving her floundering. For the first time in months, I felt it again. The sharp, liberating clarity of a man who refused to be anyone's fool.